All right, welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak Extra on Trust Television, and we're still right here. We're not done yet, and right now it is time for us to actually move on to the next discussion. And we have a comedian in the house talking about Onome the Saint. Now, when you hear Onome the Saint, I know you automatically think, oh, it's a lady, because but no, he doesn't actually look like a comedian. He looks like a banker or something, you know. You're welcome to Daybreak Extra.
Oh, all of this title.
He looks like a delegate.
No, I don't look like one.
Okay. You are one.
No, because I'm actually afraid of delegates. The fear of Nigerian delegates is the beginning of wisdom.
Why are you afraid of them?
Ha! Those guys, they'll chop your money.
Not true.
I know PDP had to decode them at some point and started paying them with fake dollars. So yeah, that is Nigeria for you. Yeah, my name is Onome the Saint from the UK. Meaning the Urobo Kingdom.
Okay.
Yes, it's
interesting.
All right, so welcome to Daybreak Extra. So can you tell us a little about yourself, talking about your journey, you know, how you started, where you are right now?
My journey has been, what would I say, from grace to grace. It comes with its own fair share of struggles and setbacks. Yeah, but that is a journey for you. I think I started comedy by fluke, you know. I attended Night of a Thousand Laughs in 1999. I saw the likes of the Dawn and I Go Die performing. I just told myself I could do this now after I'm a worry boy. You know, so I started doing it, but not, you know, I was just having fun. My whole plan was to Jaguar, get out of this country. So for me, it wasn't going to be a source of livelihood for me, you know. So on one of those occasions, I was in Lagos. I went for interview, the U.S. Embassy. The police could arrest me, you know, so.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I had, they were doing this stop and search thing at CMX there.
Okay.
Now, and that is why they said, penny wise, pound foolish. I was coming from Mushi because I was putting up in Mushi.
Okay.
So they told me, if you get to CMS, you can take a bike to their office, their liaison office, that is Foreign Affairs, because I was supposed to see someone there to take me to the embassy.
Yeah.
So I got to, now, bike from there is 40 naira. If you want to continue on the bus, I said it's 100 naira. So me, I don't check out. This was like 2006. I came down, got on the bike, lo and behold, there were like 4 men around me. They're doing what they call stop and search. Now, my dad was with Foreign Affairs, you know, so they gave me this letter of introduction that I was supposed to take to this person that would take me to the embassy. Now, they saw that. They took me to Lion Building. Yes. So I was in Lion Building. We're supposed to be at the embassy for 9. Now, he has left. The instruction was for him. Now, the police called his boss, who was not aware, and that one said, I don't know anything about it. So it became a case of forgery. So that was how I, you know, I was detained for like 6 hours though.
Wow.
Yeah. So I couldn't come back to Abuja, you know, because I don't spread aside to go US. Hello. So I was there. A friend of mine, Cecily Gbili, she's with the NTA, said, this comedy self that you're not serious about, I have a show for you. I think that was Ex-Strangers, Names on Platinum Store in 2006. So I came back, and yes, that was it. So professionally, it was in 2006. I started the showbiz. Okay. And then I've been doing my own show, Laugh It Off with Onome the Saint. Okay. I've done like 10 editions, both here and abroad. Okay. You know, and yeah, we anchor events and all of that. So basically, yeah, that is a story. Okay. Until recently, I became the president of Abuja Body of Comedians.
Oh, congratulations to you on that.
Thank you.
So, being the president of Abuja Comedians, what would you say what's the scenery here for comedians in Abuja? Would you say it's okay? You know the way people always think everything happens in Lagos. If you're not in Lagos, things don't work for you. So, being in Abuja, how is the reception from audience?
Well, we are not where we want to be yet, but we're not where we were.
Yeah, most importantly.
It's evolving. You definitely cannot compare with what it is in Lagos, you know. Lagos, first off, is a showbiz center. Anything almost goes in Lagos. Abuja, you need to work a lot harder, you know. Some of our colleagues are already getting the kind of reception that the Lagos Act, you know, gets. It's just that it might not be as much as we expected it or we expect it to be. And that is why we are together, you know, to create more room for professionalism. Now, we also know that a prophet has no honor in his home, you know. But by and large, it's getting better, you know. At some point, the fact that Abuja is predominantly a civil service area also had its own bite on us here. Yeah, but it's getting better. You know, there was a time where it was only the Lagos comedians that would come here to do shows. But right now we have a number of them that does, you know, top-notch shows. So it is improving. It is, you know, we're not yet there, but we'll get there, I'm sure.
Okay, so tell us some of the challenges that comedians actually face, aside, you know, not being in Lagos, where, you know, a lot more of the comedy shows actually happen.
Ooh.
Especially comedians in Abuja.
Yeah, comedians in Abuja are facing, a lot of them are facing, first of all, the challenge of this acceptance, this, you know, acceptability by Abuja residents. They are also faced with some level, because almost everybody that got into comedy, almost 90% of us, were not necessarily well off. Do you understand? And so the economy also affects. It's also a challenge. You know, for example, when you're anchoring an event, they expect you to look good, you know, dress properly. Now, because you don't have that big name yet, they're not ready to pay you as much for you to look good enough. Do you understand? For you to look good enough for an event, for example, you need to spend, if you want to be conservative, maybe 100 and above. Now, if you're not yet there, they're not paying you that amount. It's true. You want me to calculate it for you? Now, you buy a shoe. Let's say you're being reasonable. You buy a shoe for 35,000. You're being reasonable. You buy a jean, let's say for 10, 12. Okay, you buy a shirt, also that amount. Yeah. You buy a belt, you buy your bracelet and your wristwatch. Okay, you don't need to be changing that always.
Your bracelet looks like gold, so don't, better hide it before you leave here.
It's not gold. So by the time you look at it, you're spending about 100.
Yeah.
And you know, you're not expected to repeat wears.
Yes.
Because you go to this event, 1 or 2, 3 persons must have seen you.
Take pictures.
Take pictures. They expect you to change, you know, if they see you in another event. So now, the boys do not have that kind of, and because of that, they look at you to be, I don't want to use the word cheap, or you're not upgrading or updating yourself. So it still keeps you at that level. So that is a challenge, you know, that acceptance and economy.
Okay, so what does it actually take to be funny? Do you have to learn it, or does it come naturally?
Yes.
I think it's both ways. It is more sustainable when it comes naturally.
Okay.
If you have to learn it, you have to put in a whole lot of effort, a whole lot of work. You know, because there's nothing that can be learned. Yeah. You know, if you put your heart to it, you can learn to become anything you want to become. But it is better when you have it in you. You know, so it's a two-way thing. It's either you're born with it, you know, or you are actually, a lot of people who learn it actually do more of humor. You know, the anchor, the throw 1 or 2 lines, not necessarily telling jokes. At the end of the day, he passes also as a comedian because he has made his crowd laugh. you know. So yeah, basically it's both ways. It comes naturally, or you're learning it.
You know, when he actually said humor, it made me remember, you know, most women can be very funny and
Yes,
they don't have
it's
to
just
learn it.
in us.
Women
We're
are
so
naturally funny, you know
naturally
that.
funny.
Who?
Women. I'm just
They're
surprised how we don't
naturally
have female comedians, because
No, you actually have them.
we are so funny.
It comes in natural to us, so there's no point, you know, monetizing it or commercializing it.
So for you, would you say so for you, will you say it comes naturally, or you have to maybe sometimes write a script, you know, think of a line?
So when it comes naturally, you also have to develop it. If you don't, it becomes a big deal for you, a big problem for you. Now, and that is why we have this body. For there's all the professionalism in it, you know. You can be funny naturally, and then you throw insults instead of yabs. Now there's a thin line between insults and yabs. So there's what you tell somebody, he takes it as an insult. But there's a way you put it, it is a yab, and then he laughs over it. That is one. Professionally, you also need to know that it's not everybody you can even yab. You can actually yab those that you have some level of relationship with. Just like,
but when you say that, right? Because when you go for most comedy shows, you find a comedian just, you know, pick someone out of the crowd, even if they know them or not, and they yab them.
Yeah, that is
you understand?
That is
so
a comedy
how do they
show.
know? Okay.
It is an atmosphere of comedy.
Okay.
But when you now do, you're anchoring an event, for example, it's just you. Okay? So, but in a comedy show, you can actually do that, even though some of them may take offense. Like one happened a couple of days, you know, like last month, between one of my colleagues and one of our first ladies. It wasn't funny for them, you know, but it was a yab. You get. Now,
like Jada Pinkett and Chris
Smith
Rock.
and the slap.
Oh yeah, and the slap. You know, and a lot of people are thinking of emulating that here. You know, go work because if you slap me, I slap you. I am not.
No, now the Bible says if you slap you, you turn the other cheek.
No. I'm not that much of a Christian. Now, when it gets to that point, I'll tell you the Bible says, "Touch not my anointed." I'm a saint. So now, if you slap me, I slap you. You know. Like what I was saying earlier, you need to be familiar with certain people for you to be able to, especially when you are the one anchoring that event and it's just you. For example, an Alibaba could, you know, throw jabs at Obansanjo at any time those days. But somebody tried it. You know, with Abuja. He's also a big boy in the industry. Now, Alibaba got away with it. Always got away with it because you know, they had this relationship, this familiarity, you know. So, but a lot of our boys might not understand some of these ethics or principles, you know, and that is the need for us to come together, you know, as one, work more on capacity building, and then look out for ourselves.
Okay, so let's see. Now, these days, because I actually attended a comedy show a few weeks ago. Yes, a few weeks ago.
Almost a month.
They seem to be doing more of, you know, they seem to be taking the role of pastors, you understand? And, you know, their comedy was actually centered around, you know, a pastor and their congregation. Would you say that, you know, these days, originality has become something else? Because what they do is they just pick, you know, something and they talk about it, like they give prophecies and, you know, people laugh about it and that's it. Would you say there's still originality when it comes to the comedy scene?
There is plenty of originality. Now, it also depends on the individual comedian. Everybody.
I'm not talking about just one person. I'm talking about like 5 of them coming around and acting, doing the same thing. Not, you know, not the same script, but the same thing.
Almost the same thing.
Yes.
Same personality.
Yes, same character, everything.
Well, that is at one show that you attended. You know, it also depends on the concept whoever had in mind, the person that had that show. It depends on the concept he was putting out, you know, or he wanted, you know, his show to be like. Like I attended one last month still. It was vulgar jokes all through. Yeah. And it was the owner of the show that started it. And you know, when you do that, sometimes other people will just naturally queue up. You know, so, but if you come to my show, because I take my time to select who I want, it's always a blend of everything apart from vulgarity, because my show is usually a family show. So yes, there is originality. You can't take that away. But sometimes too, some of us get a little bit carried away. You know, maybe you're not very prepared. And once someone does something, you feel okay, you can actually toe on that line. And so before you know it, they start doing all of that. But it also depends on the promoter, what concept he had in mind, you know, because that is what informs your lineup. I want this kind of joke, okay. Aguda is good in this, I take him. I want this other kind, okay, let Gordons come. Gordons and Aguda cannot crack the same kind of jokes. So you blame that mostly on the show promoter. But then again, we also need to, we get carried away sometimes. Sometimes we're not very prepared. We just get there and okay, we are stranded at some point. And then you give us a lead, we'll follow.
So I was going to ask, do you think this era of skit makers is affecting comedians? You know, or because you know, I've been in arguments where people say skit makers are not comedians because they have to it's like you know, making a film, sitting down to plan a movie, but comedians just go on stage and you know, release all that funniness on their crowd. So what's your opinion on that?
My opinion is everybody is a comedian. There are skit making comedians. Some are stand-up comedians.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Those that get hold of the microphone and cracking jokes are stand-up comedians. Now the skit makers too are also comedians because their content makes you laugh, you know, gives you a lot of humor.
Yeah.
So everyone is categorized comedians. So but what happens is there are categories.
Yeah, but
now some of them skit makers might not be good on stage. It's a different ball game when you get hold of the microphone, you know, because in skit making you have a script that you're working with, you know, that you deliver. It's stand-up comedy.
But it doesn't stop it from being funny as well.
It doesn't stop it from being funny, yes. But it's a different ball game when you hold a mic.
yeah, because the reason why I'm asking is because like I noticed this trend of where when people are having shows, they actually bring skit makers to their shows now, and you know, they have them on set. They would arrange everything the way it looks
like
on
drama.
Yes, like drama on Instagram. So like I'm just wondering what the future is for people that do stand-up comedy if skit makers are replacing.
Skit makers cannot replace stand-up comedians. It's not possible. The reason why you have skit makers come on stage is because, you know, it is show business, and in show business, these skit makers actually have their followers. People want to see them, you know. They see them on social media and all of that. They appreciate them. But beyond that, they also want to see them one-on-one. So, and the only way they can actually see them is if you bring them to events like that, you know. And so they come with their own crowd. There's no way anybody is stopping anybody, whether you're a stand-up comedian or... some of these skit makers are actually good stand-ups as well. You know, like the likes of Edo Pigeon, you know, and a couple of them like that. Like there are also Josh. He was a stand-up comedian before he became
Funny Josh.
Yeah, Funny Josh.
Funny Josh.
Do you understand? Some of us too can even start doing
skits.
The same skit.
I think it's easier for stand-up comedians to do skits than a skit maker to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. All a stand-up comedian needs is a script, a storyline, and you know, you're good.
So I actually want to ask, when doing your comedy, do you speak English or Pigeon?
It depends on the crowd.
Because you sound like Jack Rich right now. You're speaking too much grammar for me.
I swear. He sounds more like, you know, an analyst than a comedian.
I speak Pigeon, not try and be area. Or it depends on your crowd.
Okay.
You understand? Okay, now I want for some to speak Pigeon, no wala. Now, I go to a corporate event. You know, goodie. They go. Then look, you say, where this one they come from? Who brought this guy? Where is it? Do you understand?
Yes, now.
Do you get it?
Being a worry person, the English you're speaking is too much. You should allow your worry side come out small.
But if you can't go school event, you talk rubbish. Both vulgar, it no matter. You speak your Pigeon well. You understand? If you go normal concerts too, you're there at liberty to speak both Pigeon, English. So
no, but even corporate events, I don't think they mind because some of them actually invite comedians to come in to make them laugh. So, you know, if you're a comedian that actually speaks, you know, Pigeon, then go ahead and do your thing.
If they invite you as comedian, if you're invited as an item, do you understand? As comedian, yes, you can do your Pigeon. But again, it also depends on. It gets on the tell you street. We don't want Pigeon on.
No, yeah. Some people make their arrangements.
Do you understand?
True.
And why would they speak English? You know, there are potential clients in every crowd. You go to a crowd, you do vulgar jokes, they'll laugh. Some might feel disgusted. They go laugh. But trust me, if they want to do those kind of events, they'll call you.
Okay.
You understand?
All
now,
right.
if you can't speak Pigeon, get the kind of event they'll call you for. Especially when it's okay, you know if you maneuver from your Pigeon to your English.
Yeah.
You know, but if they realize, okay, this guy, if you run through anyhow, okay, you're good. So yes, we are expected to do the Pigeon.
So it's an advantage, and you have that upper hand.
I get that one.
Okay, is that the reason why you're made president?
No, it's not because I can speak Pigeon.
That you must be very funny.
Well,
the president, you must be very funny.
Yeah, I don't try. For this time, I don't pay dues.
Yeah.
I don't pay dues. People will do show today. They do show. The Abuja Boys, where they do show. A lot of them they do show because we started it at some point. You understand? Because it was just a Lagos thing. So when we can start to do it, the boys got to get courage. Do you understand? Now the association itself, we now founders, and we started, you know, like 12 years ago. In fact, I was the pioneer secretary of the association. So we've been growing. You know, I was vice president before I became president. Yeah, so I don't pay dues for the town, so I deserve to be president at this point in time.
Yeah, so I want to ask, is there any time you've gone for a show and you've cracked a joke where people did not laugh?
Hey, yes, once.
I can't. Are you sure it's once? Check again.
No, once. No, I don't even talk about it for. That was at Blake's. But they are drink, can't drink me. So I can't climb stage. Everything when I did talk, based on say the drink, don't drink me, they funny to me.
So now you
laugh.
You're laughing at your joke.
Anything when I talk, oh God, I was so funny. But everybody just know how they look me like this. Then the next thing I said here was, come out there. Come out there.
Yeah.
Live there.
You were in the world of your own.
I swear. But you know, as soon as they started booing me, the shark clear.
Are you serious?
Couple like see they follow me come from village.
Did you not make them laugh? Or you just came down?
When they doesn't come out,
you accepted your fate and you came down.
And you left.
Where I sat down, I no come out until everybody come up. It was so yeah. Since then, I told myself, no, this was not going to happen
ever again.
So I don't. Yeah, I may do a bit of alcohol, but to that point where I feel it's going to sustain me or help me, no, I don't do it.
All right, so what advice do you have for up-and-coming comedians, you know, especially in Abuja? You know, these up-and-comers, they run faster than their shadow.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. For my members and other comedians up-and-coming, first of all, it is the love for the job. You need to love the job. And it's more beneficial when you love it than when you're going into it for
monetary gains.
For the monetary gains, you know. So the love for the job, patience, and of course hard work. Above all, you know, if you take away God, fit.
So do you still have Jaguar Plants, or that dream has been killed
completely? Jaguar Plants, that dream has been killed. I've gone, I've traveled like I've done my show in the UK.
Oh, that's
and I know like the life for that side.
It's funny. This comedian, skit maker comedian, what's her name? Ada Jesus. She said the same thing when she went to the UK, where she even made a video, with her boxes, and she's like, no, she can't live here. She's coming back to the suffering in Nigeria.
Is she actually suffering because she's actually making a lot of money from what she does?
I mean, she's just based on. You forget, even rich people still suffer.
Oh,
well, this country will touch you one way,
it's a life
one way
they chose
or the
for
other.
themselves.
So yeah, I want to tap on something you said. There's this mindset that sometimes comedians, artists, even actors, they go under the influence just to, get themselves. Would you say it's something that lasts long for them, or it's just, how do I put it?
Well, politicians have been accused as well.
Yeah, like, don't even put your hand into it at all. Because the people are like, okay, I don't have that confidence, but let me take something that will make me stand in front of the crowd.
Yeah, there are some that don't do anything, to influence them. There are a whole lot of comedians that don't taste alcohol.
Yeah.
Like Alibaba, for example. He doesn't do alcohol. We know a number of them. Gordon's doesn't do alcohol.
But okay, sorry. When you said Gordon's, I thought of Clint the Drunk. Sorry.
Clint the Drunk doesn't do alcohol.
He just acts like a drunk.
Yes.
You don't mean it.
Clint doesn't taste
My
alcohol.
whole childhood was false then, because I always thought he was drunk.
But he never told you he was.
I'm sorry. The name alone implied that he was a drunkard. That was the way I saw him. Like, you know what? This man in his house, there's probably like one room filled with alcohol. All he does is drink.
He doesn't taste alcohol.
Well, I'm surprised to hear that.
I doubted him until when we're together in the UK for like 2 weeks. We stayed in the same apartment. Let me finish out the drink we did there. Now, there is this other category that it is not because they want to get on stage. Normally I drink.
Yeah.
So I just do my thing, not because I need to get on stage. Then you have that category of people that need to enhance themselves
to get on stage.
To get on stage. So basically, yeah. There are these three categories of persons in the industry. There are those here that actually does that, But it's not much in comedy. Comedians are very responsible people.
Yeah.
Very, very. If you go to the music hall, they need to
a lot more than
it's very prevalent in the music industry.
Well, thank you so much, Onome Descent, for being on the show with us today. It was actually, and fun. It was fun hanging out with you. So hopefully we'll have you again next time.
Anytime.
Will you invite us for your show? Yeah, I like to laugh.
Madam.
Definitely.
Calm down.
And so that we will laugh.
Calm down.
Don't you want to laugh? You've been laughing since you came. Don't you want to continue the laughter?
All right, thank you, Onome. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the show continues.
A lot of people are wondering that they don't see me at masses at my parish. I go to his private chapel. And you know why? You know why I go there? It's for a simple reason. First of all, let me say because, apart from how the prayers are quiet and all of that, no, it's always very short. No thanksgiving, no offertory, no bazaar, no tithe, no sowing of seed. Anytime I go there, my money is safe. So, if you don't see me, and people keep asking me, which parish you even in? I'm not a parishioner anywhere. I'm a diocesan. Every parish I wake up, that is my parish for the day. And that is why I am a saint. Put your hands to the work of the Lord. Put your hands together for yourself. Yeah, we have everything. We have everything back home. We have Maryland that they have in the US. We also have Osaka, London. We have London here. And we have UK. And I am from UK. Like, brass. Hades. Everyone clap for yourself. Put your hands together for yourself. Round applause for yourself. What happened? Did you hear that some lazy Nigerian youths are coming? Well, I don't think Ghana our people come. You even see where they are. They didn't walk. As lazy as you guys are, see they go walk. You know, this kind of word, the kind of inspiration it gives is that of when you smoke. After smoking, you just imagine there's so many people, you know. But you see, the beautiful thing is, some of us fear God, some of us don't. I got into Scotland yesterday and I saw a church that has a clock on every hand. FIS. How? So wait, as me there is a night vigil. After church, we go to clubs and go to hell. I think these days people are no longer afraid of God. You know, I don't know how many of us have been in Nigeria lately. You go to Allen Avenue, I was around there and two Ross girls. No, not two Ross girls. No. See customers. See customers said no. Two Ross girls were complaining. They've been there from 10 to 4 a.m. No customer. They said complaining. Philomena. By the way, how come people no longer bear those names? Philomena, Callista, Angela, Agatha, Ruth. Philomena there. Now, Papa people they get that level. Philomena there. No, she got Philomena. Wait to. Wait there, yes, no customer. What did they happen? Come and hear